You look in this word, you'll see that he was Adam's redeemer. He was Abel's vindicator. He was Noah's ark. And he was Abraham's sacrifice. Yes, he was Moses' bush on fire. Yes, he was Joshua's battle axe. He was Gideon's fleece. And he was Samson's power. Do you know who he is? He was David's shepherd in the valley of the shadows of death. Do you know who he is? He was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego's fourth man in the fiery furnace. Do you know who he is? I come by to tell you he was Daniel's lion tamer in the den of lions. Do you know who he is? He was Jeremiah's balm in Gilead. Anybody here know who he is? I come by to tell ya, he was Matthew's king. He was Mark's servant. He was Luke's great physician. And he was John's word made flesh. Do you know who he is? I come by to tell ya, if that don't work for ya, can I tell you, he's my way maker. He's my miracle worker. He's my mind regulator. Is there anybody here that know who he is? I come by to tell ya, he's my burden bearer. He's my heavy load sharer. He's my grandmama's walking cane. Is there anybody here that know who he is? Well, I come by to tell ya, if that don't work for ya, I got one more for you today. You see, he was something that both of us needed. What you talking about? Well, when we were on our way to a burning hell, we weren't fit to live, and we were scared to die. But can I tell you, Jesus became our Savior. Ain't the Lord all right? He's our Savior. Well, how did he save us? I'm so glad you asked. One Friday morning on a hill called Calvary, can I tell you what he did? They hung him high and they stretched him wide. They pierced him in the side. He bowed his head in the locks of his shoulders. But I come by to tell ya, that ain't the end of the story. He died. Didn't he die? Come on now, y'all. Didn't he die? Didn't he die? Oh, he died. Yes, he did. But touch your neighbor and say, neighbor, that ain't the night. Stay there all day Saturday. Stay there all night Saturday night. But early, y'all gotta help me. Early, don't let me shout by myself. Early, early, early. Sunday morning, didn't get up with all power in his hand. If you know he did, you ought to shout like you know it. If you know he did, you ought to holler like you know it. If you know he did, you ought to wave like you know it. If you know he did, you ought to jump like you know it. If you know he did, help me preach. Throw your head back, stick your chest out, look up toward heaven, open up your mouth and say yeah. Say yeah. Say yeah. Oh, do me one more favor, and I promise I'll leave you alone. Do me one more favor, and I promise I'll leave you. Turn to your neighbor. Oh, y'all ain't turning. I said turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, I want you to know what I know. Say, neighbor, what do you know? I know he's all right. I know he's all right. All right. Ain't he all right? Ain't he all right? Oh, he's all right. Yeah! I was trying to sit down, but he said I got a little bit more. Ain't he all right? Did he wake you up this morning? Start you on your way? Yeah! Ain't he good? Ain't he good? Ooh, we good. Ain't he good? If you know he is, help me holler one more time. If he been good to you, find your shout and get in on this. If you know